A few years ago, I started noticing something wasn't quite right with my body. I wasn't eating badly, no soda, no candy, not even desserts that often. But still, after almost every meal, I felt this overwhelming wave of tiredness, like my energy had been sucked away. My vision would blur slightly and my head felt heavy, as if I hadn't slept all night. At first, I blamed it on aging. I told myself, well, maybe this is just part of getting older. But deep down, I knew it wasn't normal. Something wasn't right. I finally decided to check my blood sugar, and that day changed everything. I realized my numbers were higher than they should be, even though I thought I was eating healthy. That was the wake-up call I needed. From that moment on, I made it my mission to understand what truly helps balance blood sugar naturally, without medication, without starving, and without giving up everything I love. What I discovered was incredible. Certain foods, simple, delicious, and affordable, have the power to support your body, stabilize your blood sugar quickly, and give you back your energy, clarity, and joy. These are foods I now eat almost every day, and I can say from my own experience, they truly work. If you're struggling with high blood sugar, constant fatigue, or those sudden energy crashes, this video could change a lot for you. And if this topic resonates with you, please consider giving this video a like. It really helps this message reach more people who need it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Number 10, zucchini. You know, when I first started looking for foods to help me control my blood sugar, zucchini wasn't exactly on my radar. Honestly, it seemed like one of those boring vegetables that people only eat when they're trying to lose weight. But oh, how wrong I was. What I've learned since then is that zucchini is actually one of the smartest foods you can add to your plate if you want to stabilize your blood sugar naturally. It's low in calories, very low in carbs, but loaded with fiber and water. And here's the thing. That fiber acts like a natural traffic light for your digestion. Instead of carbs rushing into your bloodstream, like cars speeding down a highway, the fiber slows everything down. Your blood sugar rises more gently, more steadily, and you avoid those dangerous spikes that leave you feeling drained or shaky. I remember one day I was making lunch, looking at my plate and thinking, this looks so empty. I had some grilled chicken, a little salad, but it felt sad. That's when I remembered zucchini. I sliced it up, threw it on a pan with olive oil, garlic, and a pinch of salt. Within minutes, my kitchen smelled amazing, warm, comforting, like real food should smell. When I added that pile of golden, tender zucchini to my plate, something clicked. The meal suddenly felt satisfying, like I was giving my body what it truly needed, not just empty carbs, but real nourishment. And the best part? After eating, I noticed I didn't feel sleepy. I didn't have that sugar crash that used to hit me an hour after eating pasta, bread, or rice. I felt light but full, energized but not stuffed. Since then, zucchini has become one of my go-to foods. I roast it, saute it, grill it, even spiralize into noodles when I crave something like pasta. And let me tell you, when you toss zucchini noodles with olive oil, garlic, a sprinkle of Parmesan, and maybe some grilled chicken or shrimp, it feels like you're eating a feast. But here's the magic. Your blood sugar stays steady. No crash. No foggy brain. No sudden hunger attacking you 2 hours later. It's incredible how something so simple, so humble, can make such a big difference. And the truth is, it's not about giving things up. It's about learning how to swap, how to upgrade your meals with foods that love your body back. And zucchini? Oh yes, it loves you back. Number 9, salmon or fatty fish. I still remember the day I realized how powerful salmon was for my blood sugar. I was having dinner at a friend's house, and instead of the usual pasta or heavy casseroles, they served grilled salmon with some roasted veggies. Simple, clean, and honestly, delicious. What shocked me wasn't just how good it tasted, but how I felt afterward. Normally, after a big dinner, I'd feel that heavy, sluggish fog, my eyes getting droopy, my body begging for couch. But not that night. I felt satisfied but light, steady, like my energy wasn't crashing. Later, when I started learning more about food and blood sugar, it clicked. Salmon is a powerhouse for people like us who need to keep those sugar numbers steady. The beauty of salmon and other fatty fish like sardines, mackerel, or trout is that they're loaded with healthy fats and protein, but have zero carbs. That's right, not a single gram to push your blood sugar up. On top of that, the healthy fats in salmon, especially omega-3s, work like natural fire extinguishers inside your body, calming the invisible inflammation that often makes blood sugar harder to control. When your body is inflamed, it struggles more with insulin, making it harder to process sugar properly. But when you nourish it with the right fats, things start working better. Smoother, calmer, more balanced. I didn't know this back then, but I could feel the difference right after that meal. These days, I try to eat salmon or other fatty fish at least 2, sometimes 3 times a week, grilled with lemon and herbs, baked in the oven with a bit of olive oil, or even tossed into a salad with some avocado. It's always satisfying. And it's not just about blood sugar. I've noticed my joints feel less stiff, my mind feels clearer, and that brain fog that used to sneak in after meals has become a rare visitor. Eating fatty fish is one of those simple habits that pays off in so many ways. It's not a magic pill. It's just real food that supports your body in doing what it was designed to do. Stay balanced, stay strong, and stay well. Number 8, broccoli sprouts. Now, let me tell you about something that honestly feels like a little secret weapon in my kitchen. Broccoli sprouts. When I first heard about them, I thought, wait, sprouts? Like baby broccoli? I wasn't sure they could really make a difference. But oh, was I wrong. These tiny, delicate sprouts are like nutritional gold. I remember buying my first box at the store, just curious, and tossing them into a salad. I didn't expect much. But over time, something started to shift. My energy felt more stable. I wasn't getting those weird sugar swings in the middle of the day. And after diving deeper, I found out why. Broccoli sprouts are loaded with powerful compounds that help the body manage blood sugar in ways most foods simply can't. Here's the thing that blew my mind. Broccoli sprouts contain up to 50 times more sulforaphane than mature broccoli. Now, I'm not a scientist, but here's how I understand it. Sulforaphane acts like a tiny army inside your body, helping clean up oxidative stress and supporting how your body uses insulin. In simple words, it makes your cells more sensitive to insulin, which means sugar gets handled more efficiently and doesn't just float around in your bloodstream causing chaos. I didn't know any of this when I first tried them, but I felt the results. Less afternoon fatigue, fewer cravings, and this steady, balanced energy that I hadn't felt in years. These days, broccoli sprouts are a regular guest on my plate. I sprinkle them over eggs in the morning, toss them into salads, or even mix them into wraps and sandwiches. They got this fresh, peppery crunch, almost like radishes, that makes every bite feel alive. And the best part? They're so easy to add without changing your whole meal. You don't need to cook them, prepare anything fancy, or spend hours in the kitchen. Just grab a handful and throw them on top of whatever you're eating. It's a small habit, but trust me, it makes a huge difference over time. And once you start feeling the benefits, you won't want to stop. Number 7, pistachios. There's something almost magical about pistachios. I'll be honest, at first, I started eating them just because they tasted good. You know that satisfying little snap when you open a shell? It's almost addictive. But what I didn't expect was how much they would help my blood sugar. I clearly remember one afternoon when I was feeling that familiar post-lunch crash coming. You know, that wave of tiredness that makes you want to lie down and do nothing. I grabbed a small handful of pistachios, just thinking it would be a little snack, and something interesting happened. About 20 minutes later, I realized the crash never came. I felt steady, focused, energized. That moment made me curious. Could pistachios really be helping me balance my blood sugar? Turns out, yes, they absolutely can. Pistachios are one of the best snacks you can have if you're trying to keep your blood sugar stable. They're packed with a perfect combination of protein, healthy fats, and fiber, the magic trio when it comes to slowing down digestion and preventing sugar spikes. Unlike crackers, chips, or even some so-called healthy granola bars, pistachios don't flood your bloodstream with sugar. Instead, they give your body steady, slow-burning fuel. And what's really fascinating is that studies actually show pistachios can help lower blood sugar levels after meals, exactly when your sugar usually spikes the most. No wonder I started feeling better every time I reach for them. Nowadays, pistachios have become one of my go-to daily habits. I always keep a small jar in my kitchen, and honestly, sometimes even in my car. They're perfect when I'm running errands or when that late afternoon hunger kicks in. A small handful, not even a huge amount, is enough to take the edge off, keep my energy steady, and help me avoid reaching for things I'll regret later. They've taught me something important about food. It's not about avoiding snacks. It's about choosing the right ones. And pistachios? Oh, they check every box, delicious, satisfying, and genuinely good for your blood sugar. Number 6, cottage cheese. I'll be honest, cottage cheese was something I ignored for most of my life. It always seemed like one of those diet foods that people ate when they were trying to lose weight. But let me tell you, the day I finally gave a real try, everything changed. I was looking for something quick, something easy that wouldn't send my blood sugar through the roof. So I grabbed a small bowl of cottage cheese, added a few slices of cucumber, a sprinkle of black pepper, and wow, not only was it surprisingly delicious, but what really caught my attention was how I felt afterward. No crash, no sudden hunger an hour later. Just steady, calm energy that lasted all afternoon. That moment made me realize this humble little food was way more powerful than I ever expected. The magic of cottage cheese is its perfect balance. It's rich in high-quality protein, the kind your body actually knows how to use, with barely any carbs. And that's the key. When you eat protein like this, it slows down how quickly your body digests the rest of your meal. Imagine like putting a speed limiter on your digestion. Instead of sugar rushing into your bloodstream like a flood, everything moves slower, steadier, more controlled. Plus, it's incredibly filling. A small bowl of cottage cheese can keep me satisfied for hours, which means I'm not constantly hunting for snacks that end up messing with my blood sugar. And the best part? It fits into pretty much any meal, any time of day. These days, cottage cheese has earned a permanent spot in my fridge. I mix it with sliced tomatoes and olive oil for a quick lunch, pair it with a few berries for a light breakfast, or even add it to scrambled eggs to make them extra creamy and satisfying. It's become one of those foods that feels like a quiet superpower. Nothing flashy, nothing complicated. Just simple nourishment that helps my body stay balanced. And honestly, every time I open that container, I smile a little because I know it's one more way I'm choosing to take care of myself. One more small step toward feeling better, stronger, and more in control of my health. Number 5, blueberries. I still remember the first time someone told me that blueberries could help balance blood sugar. Honestly, I was skeptical. I mean, fruit? For years, I had heard that if you were trying to control blood sugar, you had to avoid most fruits because of the natural sugars. But as it turns out, not all fruits are the same, and blueberries are in a league of their own. I started adding a small handful to my breakfast, just a few scattered over cottage cheese or mixed into plain yogurt, and what I noticed surprised me. Instead of getting that mid-morning crash like I did with other sweet foods, my energy stayed steady. My mind felt clear. No jitters. No sudden hunger. Just this calm, steady focus that made me wonder, how could something so sweet be so good for me? The secret with blueberries is their unique combination of fiber, antioxidants, and a low glycemic load. That means the natural sugar in blueberries doesn't hit your bloodstream all at once. Instead, it's released slowly, thanks to the fiber that acts like a natural buffer. But there's something even more powerful happening. Blueberries are loaded with compounds that help your cells become more sensitive to insulin. In simple words, they help your body use sugar better, instead of letting it float around causing damage. Plus, they fight inflammation, which is one of the sneaky things that makes blood sugar harder to control as we get older. And the best part? You don't need a huge amount. Just a small handful makes a real difference. Now, blueberries are part of my daily routine. I add them to breakfast, toss them into salads, or even just grab a few as a quick snack. And every time I do, I remind myself that food isn't just about avoiding bad things. It's about finding the right things that support the way I want to feel. Blueberries are sweet, yes, but they're sweet in the best possible way. The kind of sweetness that comes with knowing you're taking care of yourself. The kind that says, hey, you're doing something good today. And that feeling, it's priceless. Number 4, okra. I have to admit, okra wasn't always on my shopping list. In fact, for years I walked right past it in the produce section without giving a second thought. It wasn't until I heard a friend casually mention that okra helped stabilize her blood sugar that I became curious. I thought, really? This slimy little vegetable? But curiosity got the better of me. So I brought some home, sliced it up, sautéed it with garlic and olive oil, and gave it a try. What surprised me wasn't just a flavor. Tender, slightly crunchy, with a rich, earthy taste, but how I felt after eating it. There was no sugar crash, no brain fog, no sudden hunger creeping in an hour later. Just this calm, steady feeling that made me realize there's something special going on here. It turns out that okra is packed with a type of fiber that's incredibly powerful for blood sugar control. When you cut it, you'll notice that it has this natural, sticky substance that's called mucilage. And believe it or not, that sticky fiber acts like a natural filter inside your body. It slows down how quickly sugar is absorbed from the food you eat, almost like putting a soft brake on your digestion. So instead of sugar rushing straight into your bloodstream like it does with white bread or sugary snacks, it gets released slowly, steadily, giving your body time to handle it properly. I didn't need a nutrition degree to feel the difference. My body told me right away. Since then, okra has become a regular guest in my kitchen. I roast it, grill it, toss it into soups, or simply saute it as a side dish. And every time I eat it, I feel like I'm doing something kind for my body, like I'm working with it, not against it. It's not about being perfect or following some strict diet. It's about finding little tools, little helpers that make the journey easier. And okra? Oh, yes, it's one of the best helpers I've found. Quiet, humble, but incredibly effective. Number 3, eggs. If there's one food that completely transformed my mornings, it's eggs. For years, I started my day the way most people do, with toast, cereal, maybe even a muffin, thinking it was a balanced breakfast. But every single time, without fail, about an hour later, boom, that wave of tiredness would hit me like a truck. My eyelids felt heavy, my brain foggy, and my energy tanked. I'd reach for coffee or sometimes a snack, trying to push through. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. The day I decided to swap that sugary breakfast for eggs was the day everything started to change. Suddenly, my mornings felt stable, my hunger stayed under control, and those brutal crashes just stopped happening. The beauty of eggs is how perfectly they work with our body's needs. They're packed with high-quality protein and healthy fats. But, and this is the key, they have 0 carbohydrates. That means there's nothing in eggs that causes your blood sugar to spike. Even better, when you eat eggs along with other foods, like some veggies or even a small piece of whole grain bread, the protein and fat from the egg slow down how quickly your body breaks down the carbs in the meal. Think of it like putting a gentle hand on the wheel, helping your blood sugar rise slowly and steadily instead of spiking out of control. I didn't need a glucose monitor to feel the difference. My body told me loud and clear. Now, eggs are an absolute staple in my kitchen. Scrambled with spinach, boiled for a quick snack, baked into little breakfast muffins, or even fried with a sprinkle of herbs. They never disappoint. What I love most is that they make me feel grounded, steady, and ready to face the day without that roller coaster of hunger and fatigue. It's such a simple change, yet it made one of the biggest impacts on my daily life. Sometimes the best solutions really are the simplest, and for me, eggs are exactly that. A simple, powerful ally in my journey to better blood sugar and better health. Number 2, pumpkin seeds. There was a time when I thought seeds were just garnish. Something you sprinkled on top of salads to make them look fancy, but not something that could actually make a real difference in how I felt. Well, let me tell you, pumpkin seeds completely shattered that belief. I first started adding them to my meals almost by accident. One day, I was looking for something crunchy to add to my salad, grabbed a small handful of pumpkin seeds and tossed them in. I wasn't expecting anything more than texture, but what followed surprised me. I noticed that familiar crash I usually felt after lunch just didn't happen. My energy stayed steady, my mind clear, and that gnawing hunger that usually came creeping in mid-afternoon was nowhere to be found. That tiny handful of seeds ended up making a huge difference. The reason pumpkin seeds are so powerful is because they're little nutrient powerhouses. They're rich in magnesium, zinc, healthy fats, and a solid amount of plant-based protein. That combination is exactly what the body needs to process sugar more effectively. Magnesium, in particular, plays a critical role in how your cells handle insulin. And when your body has enough magnesium, it's like the gears inside start turning smoothly again. Sugar gets moved out of your bloodstream more efficiently, and things start feeling easier. I didn't know any of this when I first started eating them. All I knew was that I felt better, less tired, more balanced, and that's what kept me coming back for more. These days, pumpkin seeds show up in my meals almost every day. I sprinkle them over soups, salads, roasted veggies, or sometimes just grab a small handful as a snack. They become one of those simple tools I lean on, something that takes zero effort but gives so much in return. And you know what's beautiful? It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest things can make the biggest difference. Just a handful of seeds, nothing fancy, nothing complicated, but enough to help my body stay steady, my blood sugar stay balanced, and my energy stay where it belongs, right where I need it. Number 1, avocado. If there's one food that feels like nature's perfect gift for balancing blood sugar, it's avocado. I'll be honest with you. The first time I seriously started paying attention to my blood sugar, avocado wasn't just an ingredient. It became a daily ritual. I remember slicing one open, adding a pinch of salt and a drizzle of olive oil, and thinking, how can something this creamy, this rich, actually be good for me? But every time I ate it, the same thing happened. My energy stayed stable. No crashes, no brain fog, no sudden cravings sneaking in a couple of hours later. It was like my body was sighing relief, saying, "Thank you, this is what I needed." The beauty of avocado lies in its perfect combination of healthy fats and fiber. It is almost no sugar, almost no carbs, just slow-burning energy that your body loves. The healthy fats help keep your blood sugar steady by slowing down digestion, while the fiber acts like a gentle buffer, making sure that any carbs you eat alongside it get absorbed slowly, not all at once. And here's something I noticed over time. When avocado became a regular part of my meals, those wild swings in hunger and energy that used to control my day just disappeared. My mind felt clearer, my mood steadier, my body felt calm, and honestly, it made me fall in love with the idea that food can truly be medicine. Now, avocado shows up in my kitchen in more ways than I can count. Sliced on top of eggs in the morning, mashed into guacamole for lunch, blended into smoothies for a creamy texture without the sugar, or simply eaten straight from the skin with a spoon when I need something quick, filling, and reliable. And every single time, I'm reminded of something powerful. It doesn't have to be complicated. Taking care of yourself, balancing your blood sugar, feeling good in your body, it can start with something as simple, as humble, and as delicious as an avocado. You know, looking back at this journey, I realized something truly important. Managing blood sugar doesn't have to be about strict diets, complicated plans, or giving up everything you love. It's about making small, consistent choices that support your body, your energy, and your well-being. These 10 foods aren't magic pills. They're not some miracle cure. They're simply tools, real natural tools, that help your body do what it was designed to do. Stay balanced, stay strong, and stay well. Every time I added one of these foods to my plate, I felt a little more in control, a little more hopeful, a little stronger. But here's something I want to say from my heart. While these foods have made an incredible difference in my life, we're all different. Our bodies, our histories, our needs, they're unique. That's why it's always important to talk to your doctor or a qualified health professional before making any big changes to your diet, especially if you're managing conditions like diabetes, prediabetes, or other health issues. Food is powerful, but it works best when it's part of a plan that's safe, thoughtful, and personalized for you. Trust me, having the right guidance makes the journey smoother and so much more effective. So, if anything you heard today resonated with you, take it as a sign that it's not too late, that your body is still capable of healing, of finding balance, of feeling good again. Whether you start by adding a handful of pumpkin seeds to your snack, or simply swap your morning toast for eggs, every step counts. Every choice matters. And remember, you're not alone in this. We're walking this path together, one meal, one choice, one day at a time.